Hey everybody, Bob Lucero here from All Things Leland. It goes without saying there are a lot of great not-for-profit community organizations serving the needy in Brunswick and Leland and the greater Wilmington region. And one of them is the Sister Isaac Center based out of St. Mary's Church in Wilmington. And we are pleased today to have Teresa Weisberg, who is the director of the Sister Isaac Center, joining us. Hey Teresa, thanks for coming on board.
Thanks so much for inviting me, Bob. This is really exciting. I love to get the word out about the Sister Isaac Center.
Well, we appreciate all that you do. I mean, I know that you're celebrating 40 years of service to the community this year, but maybe perhaps you could give us a brief history of the Sister Isaac Center.
Sure. So back in 1986, a nun, the Sisters of St. Ursula, was sent down to this area. They were typically educators, and but they decided to try a little bit going into social ministry. So Sister Isaac was her name. She was sent down to this area to run the religious ed program at St. Mary's Basilica, but also to see what the needs of the community are. She literally went downtown Wilmington, door to door, to find out what the needs were, and it turned out there is a food desert in the
Hmm.
downtown area. People needed food. There is no grocery store of any size in the down within a mile and a half of the downtown area. And believe it or not, 40 years later, there still is that problem. There's no
Right.
large grocery store. So she just started with a food pantry, and then the parishioners and local community said, "Hey, I have some clothes. Would you like some clothes?" And now we are a 9,000 square foot facility. We offer food, we offer clothing, hygiene items, household items, sheets, towels, blankets. A young man came in looking for a fishing pole. We had a fishing pole. The
Yeah.
community has been very generous to us, giving us donations of things.
Well, that's great. I mean, also, I mean, obviously the program has grown and it served now more than 10,000 people on an annual basis. So who are you serving?
So pretty much anyone that walks in the door. We service Pender County, Brunswick County, and New Hanover County. About 35% of our guests come from Brunswick County. So we are certainly a presence for the Brunswick community. And so pretty much anyone that walks in the door primarily can get food. Financial help, we also offer that. That is for the Tri-County area, things like rent and utilities. It's crazy. We still have 4 months left in our fiscal year, and we've already helped 10,000 people.
That's
So
incredible.
we will far exceed that number this year. The need is really great.
And for full disclosure for our viewers, my wife and I both volunteer there, and it I'm on one end and Carolyn is at the front end working with guests, and it is truly rewarding. So, what kind of services are offered?
So we have 147 volunteers, and Sister Isaac was right. The volunteers run this place.
Hmm.
They organize everything, so we get donations in of clothing. So the volunteers go through the clothing, make sure it's in good shape. You know, our mantra is that if it's not good enough to give to your sister, it's not good enough for our guests.
Hmm.
So if it's stained or has anything like that, we pass it on to other organizations that might be able to use it.
Hmm.
But we do have hygiene items, soap, shampoo, toothpaste, all kinds of things like that, because oddly enough, those things are not covered by food stamps. So we go through a lot of that every month. And household items, we have people come to us that are setting up a household for the first time.
Hmm.
Maybe they were homeless, or maybe they're just getting on their feet, and we supply them basically with many kitchen necessities. The dishes and glasses, utensils, pots, coffee makers, all
Hmm.
kinds of different things like that. Most of the things that we have are gently used, but we do purchase new things for situations like that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And I know you briefly touched on it, and I know it is limited. You can't pay someone's full rent, but the kind of financial services you offer.
Yeah, so we are sort of what's considered an emergency financial assistance program. So someone might come to us with a utility bill, with rent payment, medical copay, dental problem that they need financial aid with. Typically, we're able to help with maybe $100. We have been known to go higher. If someone owes $147 on a bill, we certainly will step in and do that rather than have a person do a runaround going to other organizations because their lives are hard enough as it is. So we try to do everything we can to solve as much of that problem. But we also do work with other area organizations,
Mhm.
other nonprofits. And if we can help with part of a bill, we say, hey, go to this organization, Help Hub, Catholic Charities, Salvation Army, DSS,
Yeah.
and maybe they can combine and all together help to solve the rental problem or whatever the problem is. Yeah.
We talked a little bit about the volunteers, other like organizations, but I know there are private sector partners as well that support the ministry.
Yes, we have wonderful relationship with Apple Annie's. Every week we go and pick up wonderful, delicious foods from Apple Annie's. Funny little story. We had a gentleman in whose son was turning 13, and as we were speaking with him, we found out it was his son's 13th birthday, and we said, does you have a cake? He didn't have a cake. We
Mhm.
were able to supply him with a beautiful chocolate cake. We gave him candles, we gave him matches. He was just thrilled when he left here. So Apple Annie's is a very good partner, as is Food Lion. We pick up food from Food Lion once a week. And that really helps us with protein and beef and chicken and things
Mhm.
like that. We do work with the food bank of North Carolina, southeastern North Carolina. We get a delivery from them once a month. We seem to be going through that quite quickly. It's not quite as much food as it used to be. But we also have relationships with some other places like Cape Fear Vacuums. So when, John at Cape Fear Vacuums has vacuums that people didn't pick up or he refurbished, he gives them to us and then we can distribute them to our guests. And two-wheeler dealer too. We have a lot
Mhm.
of people that don't drive. So if someone needs a bike to get back and forth to work or medical appointments, we can supply them with a bike and we give them a lock too, so they can lock it up.
That's amazing, and I know on a weekly basis you write a column for the church bulletin sharing some stories. So I thought maybe you'd like to share a story or two about
Yeah,
the
yeah,
impact of all of this on
yeah.
people.
So we are a ministry of the Basilica Shrine of St. Mary. We are however, completely separate entity as far as finances is concerned. So the church pays my salary. I'm the only paid employee. And the rest of the funds, any funds we get, go directly toward helping our guests. So we do have some grants, but most of it is honestly private donations. We had a gentleman come in a few weeks ago asking for a space heater and talking to him trying to find out what's happening. The heat was off in his house. He hadn't paid his gas bill and it had been off for a few weeks, so he was spending his days in the library or anywhere where he could keep warm, and this was during the really cold spell, but he was sleeping at home at night. He found out he needed surgery and he would be housebound for 3 weeks, so he came into us asking us for a heater. We spoke to him, found out. Fast forward, the bill he owed was $112. And our hearts melted with this
Mm.
gentleman because he needed $112 to pay this bill to get his heat back on. So luckily enough, our donors have been kind to us. We had $112. We paid off his gas bill for him, and he was absolutely thrilled. So that was a really good success story. We've had people who have come in, their water has been turned off, and we've been
Mm.
able to help them get their water turned back on. And then we've had some fun things. We had a gentleman who we helped get housing. And then he was able to get a job with help from some other agencies. And he came in to us and he said, listen, I'm working full time. I'm working a lot of hours, but I need to have something to do during my off hours so I don't get into trouble again.
Mm.
You have a fishing rod. Sure enough, someone had donated a fishing
Yeah.
rod. One of our volunteers went out and got the lures and got everything he needed, and he came back a few weeks later and showed us pictures of the fish that he caught and released. So there are just so many people that need help, and we're just trying to meet people where they are.
That's a great story, and for those who are watching or read the blog post, I've included a link to the Sister Isaac Center on how you can contribute financially, or you have some clothing or pots and pans. I know are a big thing,
Yep.
or just to volunteer. It really is a fulfilling thing for us coming in on Monday and helping either sort the food or work with the clients. It's a real blessing for everybody involved.
Yeah.
With that, Teresa, I'd like to thank you for your time. The Sister Isaac Center does amazing work 40 years is a long time, more than 10,000 people so far this year,
Yes.
with another 4 months to go in the fiscal year. So
Yeah.
thank you for all that you're doing.
I appreciate the time, Bob. I really do. It's really great. I'd love to get the word out. So come on in and see us.
Yes, that's for sure. Go on
Yep.
in and see. One last question
Yeah.
for the folks who are viewing. The hours of operation to either come in to donate or to volunteer are?
So we are technically open Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Okay,
However, we know people work. I'm here from early in the morning until 5 o'clock at night. I meet people before work. I meet people after work if they need assistance. But typically, donation drop-offs is 9 to 11 Monday through Thursday, and assistance is Monday through Thursday, 9 to 11.
super. With
And we
that,
are
thank you
on
so
Ann
much.
Street. Yeah, we are on Ann Street across the street from St. Mary Basilica.
With that, thank you so much, Teresa.
You are very welcome. Thank you, Bob. Appreciate it very much.
You're welcome.